section?
This was a book that my mum wrote when she was at college, and she did a thesis. She did it in 1974. So this is something she wrote off my first 9 years. People don't know, but I was adopted into an English family. And everyone, when the Cultural Revolution happened from Hong Kong to China, so there's a lot of Chinese people that were escaping, and there's a lot of abandoned babies around the streets. And a lady called Mrs. Dibdin, missionary lady, she saw all these babies and wanted to set up homes for the babies to go. Babies were left in places where they could be found because there's a lot of refugees coming over.
From which country? From China to Hong Kong?
Yes, yeah. The border was sort of free to walk across. So that's how I came over. My mum saw an advert in the church. I've got to read this because I'm not very good at speaking. Saw an advert looking for Hong Kong babies to be adopted if you wanted to have a baby, but you had to have a child first. So Hong Kong babies weren't to be the first baby in the family.
Ah.
The Hong Kong project was an adoption project that was established during the United Nations World Refugee Year in 1959. So it expanded over like a couple of years, and only 100 babies were adopted into UK, but a lot of babies went over to America or Europe and that, but for some reason we only accepted 100.
Sounds familiar.
Sorry?
Sounds like this country at the moment, when we could be taking a lot more people than we are. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. So this is mainly. So that's the picture of me when I came over. I'll just get a few things out.
How old were you there, Serena?
Sorry, that's my name.
How old are you in that photo?
Sorry, that I was about 8 months, but it took about 1.5 years for the process to go through, and I finally came to UK.
Was that your Chinese name?
It is Wu Wei.
Yeah.
So my full name is Serena and Wu Wei Sussex.
Oh wow!
And then she wrote about the sort of how the development of having, probably couldn't do this now, but having a baby sort of from a different country, and how because for the first 2 years we only stared at the ceiling sort of first year or 6 sort of year, so there wasn't much stimulation, so that mums had to be quite strong. Luckily my mum was a teacher, and they had to do a program to get kids to be sort of getting used to people and that. So that's me. So I had 2 older brothers, and then I have a younger sister, so there's 4 of us all together, and I'm the only Chinese.
Where did you
me
grow
when
up?
I was
Where were you?
Kent.
Yeah.
And Serena, you said that you
Kent.
knew you were
Welling. Do you know Welling?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't hear.
Can you hear me, Serena? Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
You said
I can?
Yeah, you said a couple of days ago that you knew you were adopted but didn't know that you were one of the 100 children. You didn't know this story until quite recently.
Oh yes,
Right.
thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that's right. That was, we got a letter out of the blue saying that we'd like to do a survey on what happened to all the babies, and whether you all had children or what you're doing at the moment. So I got a letter via the gallery that I worked at, because they didn't know my address for some reason, and I thought, oh, is this a dodgy letter? Doing the survey. But the lady came and did an interview. There's about 100 babies, and most of them were girls, and they wanted to do a book about all the interviews of how we sort of progressing, and that some ladies weren't so lucky as me, because I had a great mum and dad, but some children didn't know where they belonged, and a lot of parents thought, oh, they'd have a bouncing baby, but they didn't, because they'd obviously been a bit subdued through their early days. But I didn't learn to speak until I was 3.5, when my mum caught me teaching my younger sister, who was a baby, how to say the word yellow. And I hadn't spoken, but when she hid around the door, she'd hear me doing a full sentence to my little sister. So she said, oh, she can speak. That was nice. You might have to prompt me in case I forget things. So, and then it's about the relationship. She wrote about the relationship of being in different surroundings. And that's my dad, my...
So what was
There's
the
more sort
of between you and your siblings? How old were your brothers and sister? What was the age difference?
There's 2 years in between us each. So there's 4 of us. So it's my 2 older brothers, 2 years in between us.
Nice.
So my brother was 4. Elder brother was 4, and then then my other brother was sort of 2, and then I came along as a sort of 1.5-year-old. So
Pippa's put your parents must be so proud of you, Serena, and your artistic talent. Where do you think it comes from? Do you think that comes from the family you've been brought up with now, or do you think that's come from?
My younger brother liked drawing, so I used to copy him.
Yeah.
So my mum developed me doing that, and I think I was at school, and I was sort of 6 years old, I think, and the teacher drew a full-size horse on the blackboard, and I drew it and copied it. I said, oh, it looks the same, I can draw. I was quite surprised that I could see that it looked matched. And
oh wow!
So who knows?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And these are some of the early pictures that I did. So they kept a scrapbook because they were into nature. So we used to do a lot of camping and that, and do bird watching to try and get us interested in nature. So they used to get us bird books and stuff to make us go for walks and get us out and about. And my dad used to tell stories to keep me going. Poor dad, every time we went for tell me a story. He made one up. So, yeah, that's it, I think.
Amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's good. And we've had reunions, so this is... I
was going to ask you that, yeah. Have you seen any of the other 100 adopted children? Is that reunions with them?
Yeah, this is some of the ladies who actually come. We meet up every now and then, every year, and they talk about. I think the thing they're doing now is talking about trying to do DNA. But
Yeah.
a lot of people, the girls find their birth parents and where they come from, but I'm not that bothered because it's sort of another mum. But although I would like to, I'll be, when you're there, you can sort of go, oh yeah, I'd like to look up my mother. But our home was actually burnt down, so all the records were burnt. But yeah, so I wouldn't be able to trace my parents. But some of the ladies did actually trace their birth parents.
Wow.
Some were good stories, and some wish they hadn't sort of seen their birth mum, because so it really was a very variety of people that want to. I think it depends if you've had a happy upbringing in your adopted life that you desire. If you didn't, then they sort of more desire to want to find their birth parents. So it really depends on the parents you're adopted into that makes the whole situation.
It's wonderful. You feel so happy, Serena, that you haven't felt the need to do that. But yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
Lovely
give
comments.
or take, but it's a long process, and a lot of the mums probably didn't want to be found because they're probably ashamed they, left the baby. So, I expect a lot of them probably don't want their DNA, but I mean, a lot of the mums probably passed away because of the age now. So
Do we have any questions? There's lots of lovely comments. Some have come straight to me. Ray sent this to me. It says, "Amazing life story. Thank you for sharing, Serena."
Thanks. Yeah.
Tiffany said, "It sounds like you feel very complete just as you are." Kiss, kiss, kiss. Vanilla, thank you so much for sharing. Interesting, you're talking about yellow to your little sister. Maybe an early interest in colour and art. And from Liz, such a remarkable life story. Very privileged to hear it, Serena. Thank you.
Yeah. Who knows? I was nearly going to go to America.
Yeah.
But then for some reason, came to England.
How long have you been in Kent Town?
Oh, I suppose about 10 years now. Yeah, I used to live in London, East London. And back in the early days, just think, oh, crikey, Chinese person speaking Cockney. I can't make head or tail of that. It was only the other day, I think, I went to, like, about a month ago, at the stables. This guy who looked after his little ponies, probably he hadn't gone out. He said, can't get my head around, you can speak Cockney. He obviously didn't know where, don't know where he's been living. Anyway, you still get them. So they're probably trying to be intrigued about where you come from, which is, it's okay.
Really interesting. Yeah. Has anyone got a question for Serena? Would anyone like to say anything? Put your hand up and I can unmute you. Digna.
So have you been back to?
Oh yes, yeah, we went
where
back.
You were born.
Yeah, I went. Sorry, yeah, I forgot that. I went back to find out where I was found. The policeman writes all the record. So I went back, and I was found in Hong Kong, Hing Hong Road. So that was good seeing that. And this flats that I was left at, block of flats. So they knew where the precise moment, and we knocked on the door. And but we couldn't go, so we just had a look through the door. And then it was at that time cultural umbrella demonstration was going on. Because they were trying to sort of members of parliament, but they wanted to choose the member of parliament rather than the people choosing they wanted someone from China instead of someone from Hong Kong to rule the Hong Kong, and I was there at the time.
When was that?
Time when they had all the. No, it wasn't as bad as the
latest ones, yeah. You've not got a great connection, Serena. I'm not.
The messages about wanting democracy.
Yeah, that's an ongoing thing in Hong Kong, isn't it? Serena, that's so lovely. Harry, Fran, got one more question? Fran, you had your hand up. You still want to ask it?
Well, no, it's to ask you, Tim.
Oh, go on.
Can me and Chicho do learn a language tomorrow?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, is Chicho gone? Is he still here?
You're here.
He's here, but yeah, let's do that tomorrow because we're running out of time because we've had so much good stuff today. We've had pancakes. We've had just loads. I mean, Serena's story is just unbelievable, and I think, thank you so much for sharing because it's obviously very personal and fascinating.
Thank you, Serena.
And I can see that everyone's just been completely engrossed in your story for the last 10 minutes, and really, really fascinating.
That's
and,
all right.
Pippa's put on it. You're very precious, and Serena,
thank you.
Is your artwork on your website?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Serena Sussex.
Yeah.
.com.
.com.
Right, good. I'm gonna have a look. My wife was looking. My wife saw you earlier on a Zoom on this morning and said, "Look at all that nice artwork on the wall behind." So yeah, Serena's an artist. She makes it. And is that your full time? Is that your job? Painting.
It is. Yeah, I've been doing it for 20 years. I've been doing painting for 20 years. So been doing exhibitions in London and then in Brighton. Do all the open houses.
Lovely.
And that. So yes, I've enjoyed it. But the next exhibition, of course, is probably in September.
Yeah, lovely.
Open houses.
A question from Fairchild, Greatest Showman.
Sorry, you're breaking.
I need you to see the photo again. The photo you hang up of you.
Harry wants to see the photo of you as a baby again, if that's all right.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you can.
No.
Was
Not
when
this one, and this one.
I was described as an ugly
This one,
baby.
this one.
Gorgeous baby.
Him.
Harry says there was another one. Is there another one, Serena?
Oh,
Of you outside your house.
Oh, the one of you in. Sorry, not the one of you as a baby. The one of you in Hong Kong when you went back to see where you'd been filmed.
that one. I can go.
No. The one in the house. In the house.
Outside the house.
Everyone in the house.
One outside the house.
Oh, sorry. Where the home? Where I that one?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yes, go in there. Yeah.
Can you see that?
I got a question for you.
That one?
Oh, come on.
What's the question, Harry? Just the previous one, Serena.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Serena, I know that place. If I got a film to BTTC. He made you film there.
So Harry thinks he's seen that in a film.
Oh.
Good observation.
Maybe.
We'll look it up. Thank you for that, Fairchild. That beautiful bit of insight. Fran's got to go. See you all tomorrow. Serena, thank you so much. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put you on mute.